Hey guys, welcome to today's video. My name is Ricky Hayes, and today I'm going to talk about a $3,000 a day case study for an e-commerce brand, right? Using Facebook and Google Ads. And I'm going to give you the exact strategy that I use, and I'm not going to lie, it's nothing magical, right? Once you learn this, it really is quite simple, okay? Again, it takes time, but I'm going to sort of guide you through it today as we go through this together. I'm going to go through slides to explain it. Slides will be in the description, just with them as you see fit. And then in the, I'll actually sort of explain and show in the respective ad accounts throughout this. Okay, so key points, right? It's important that this is not one about product research, right? I'm not doing that at all, right? You shouldn't just sell anything. I know a lot of people, especially in the dropshipping space, they'll just try and sell anything that meets the need criteria with the various things, and I get it. But you should sell something you're passionate about, okay? I really cannot emphasize that enough. Sell something you personally would buy yourself, okay? That's the true key to how you get to these 3,000 beyond, like, you know, the sky is the limit, right? There's no magic to this. It usually just starts with people with a passion, and then they turn it into a business. Simple, right? It's the same with everything. Don't just fall into the trap of, hey, you know, sell these now. I've made videos like that, and I can make videos like that, but I just personally don't think that it's the way to go. From everything I observe from the brands that I've worked with that last years, as opposed to a dropshipping business that lasts weeks or a month or something, huge difference, right? So this video is aimed at building brands, as I said. I'm not going to teach you how to find products. There's a billion other videos on that come out like every day. And you should build a brand around a niche, right? You know, don't just sell one product, sell a variety, right? That's where you're going to get average order value, repeat customers. You can do things like email marketing and so on and so forth. I've got videos like email marketing in the channel. You can go check it out if you're interested. And as I said, I'm going to talk about these slides, right? So Facebook ads, you can see when I was making this, I just took this screenshot yesterday. You can see the budget, like one of them is a remarketing, the second one is also remarketing, and the third one is cold traffic, right? Hence why the cost of purchase is higher. This one is a DPA, and I don't know, I didn't get a full screenshot, but you can average the ROAS there to what, like an 8, I would say, or something like that, right? And that's just based on the last 30 days. And that's with what? I didn't include how much spent, but you know, obviously you can sort of figure that out. But oh no, there it is. So amount spent. Yeah. So what's that? $4,000 for that much, right? And that was really a lot of it on very minor changes. So Facebook ads is better for remarketing than just cold, especially long term. The same goes for TikTok, right? TikTok's good for remarketing, but for a lot of brands, I actually find still Facebook's better. Especially because of the placement Instagram, right? So it's important, that's why you sell something you're passionate about. You know where your audience is. Still, a lot of people still gravitate, especially as female buyers, towards Instagram. It works extremely well. The key ads you need to focus on, DPA ads. I have videos on my channel about that that you can learn. It's important that this isn't about product research again, as I've said that. Always go for purchase, all right? So I just go straight for purchase on Facebook. I don't do anything fancy. You don't need to do anything fancy. Really, the product and the niche, it sells itself. Just go for the objective you're after, which is a purchase. It costs more, but long term, it just becomes seasoned around it, and it just works, right? That cold audience for the 85 a day, I use the same cold audience every single time. And believe it or not, it's like 5 million in size. It just works every single time because the audience just keep getting fed from Facebook, and the people in that industry, in that space, are very passionate. For cold, I recommend I do use AI tools, you know, ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's a number of them. Choose your fit, right? I can't distinguish between which one's better, but I just use ChatGPT personally, and just do the copy. Make sure you edit it. Don't go spammy, right? You don't need a wall of text. You just need 4 or 5 lines tops. You don't need 50% off. That's very dropshipping. The product sells itself. If it's a good product and you're passionate about it, you'll know how to market it. The key is the creative. I personally suggest using a little camera. I've got a camera. I've got a teleprompter, I've got my webcam, I've got this. I'll go out and about and I'll actually just go and record it, right? You can literally do it on your desk, whatever it looks like. The part that's important here is if you're passionate about that niche, okay, and that product, you'll know the type of creative that'll resonate because you know from yourself. And if there's people like that, you know yourself, you'll know others in that space, right? So it's a really important thing. There's tools like Synthesia. I've actually, truthfully, just yesterday started using a tool called HeyGen, where you can make like AI avatars, and then you can actually use that. There's plenty of tools out there as well, where you can make UGC related videos and stuff as well. I don't personally recommend making AI UGC unless it's yourself, right? I just don't think it's very fully ethical, right? You know, you will get UGC as you build a brand, right? It might not be straight away, but people will still buy from you, right? DPA ads, you just want to set it as just it's just a simple campaign, VC remarketing, 30 days VC, which means view content. So people in the last 30 days who have viewed content or added to cart, it has as well. And literally I literally have like a line that just says, did you forget something? Return now to complete your order. That's it. That's where the 199 purchases is from. Most of them, right? It's as simple as that. DPA ads outperform. That's why Facebook is a beast for it, right? I haven't truthfully tested that much on TikTok, but on Facebook it really is a beast. And you'll find that most agencies and brands, DPA is what brings them a huge portion of the sales. And it's literally just the most basic thing because it's all done for you. So I'll go through, I've got videos on my channel about that. You can just go check that out, right? I'm not going to make a whole thing on that as I've sort of gone through this. You can use an image or video. Well, I will go through a bit of this in a dummy ad account, but not every little step. An image for remarketing. So, you know, an image or video, preferably video. Video does generally do better. But also, you know, special sales, you know, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, new product launches, or special events that relate to your industry, right? You know, let's say it's for Australia Day and you might be a barbecue business. Barbecue businesses will probably get a lot of sales around Australia Day because literally here in Australia, everyone goes, well, not everyone, but most people will go and have a barbecue because that's part of the tradition and the culture here, right? So I'm going to go into the ad account to show you that this isn't a lie, just a quick one, and then I'm going to go into an ad account just to show you a basic overview of all you need to do, especially with setting up the DPA ad, and just follow those steps, guys. It's really, really simple. All right, so I'm just in the ad account, blurring out the obviously sensitive stuff. You can see literally as of this month, as of, well, you know, this is an incorrect ad account time zone. It was a mistake, but anyway. You can see the ROAS of 13.46. And you can see that this is, I'm using ad set budget there. I've just left it that way, it just works well. I mainly use CBO rather than ABO, or advanced advantage budget, basically is now the new CBO wording. But you can see it's the thing that makes most of it, which is the DPA, which is what I'm going to sort of quickly jump into today. There's nothing special about it, right? If I have a look at today, you know, there you go. So 137 spent for 2,300 back, right? You know, yesterday, some days you spend more, some days, you know, you don't, right? And so the point is that it just works quite well, and it's very simple, right? So 4,000 for 35,000 back, and this is using a couple of creatives, remarketing, and then using Google Ads mainly for the cold traffic, because the traffic is far higher quality. And then on Facebook, see what happens, what I usually find is Google isn't great for remarketing. Aside from brand search, now it does work for remarketing, obviously, but no one really likes to talk about it. But the reality is that Facebook is king at remarketing, because you think about it, right? Think about yourself. You'll do a lot of searching, right? I literally searched last night. I played a game like Marvel Rivals, right, with my mates. And then I get marketed to it on Facebook, okay? Because you usually do on a search engine, as the name suggests, you search on a search engine, you get distracted, you don't decide, whatever you end up doing. But then you end up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and that's why you do remarketing on social media and you do cold on Google, right? it works in perfect unison, because you get high quality traffic. Because when you're searching for something, you're searching, which means you have an interest in it, whatever that looks like. And then when you get remarketed to on Facebook, that's just a reminder, that's it. Whereas on Facebook, you're not actively searching for what you're being sold, especially if it's something you don't know about. Whereas on Google it is. So it's nothing magical, it's just pure psychology, right? So anyway, let's go into now an Ads Manager. I'll show you the DPA as a quick test. All right, so I'm in my test ad account. So we'll just go into this. I've already made the campaign. To make it, you just go create, and it'll come up with this step. All you choose is you just want to choose the type of campaign it is, which is the objective is sales. I always choose manual. As I said, you can choose Advantage Plus, or you can not, but for this one, we'll choose Advantage Plus. It'll come up with your catalog. Now, I have this connected to a testing catalog that I just use. You can see, like this is actually connected to a Beautify test store, where, I've just made a heap of products to try and look like a brand, right, as just a test. So you want to use it for catalog ads. You don't need to use ABO, right, or Advanced Campaign Budget, ACB, whatever. Which is basically CBO in the past, campaign-based optimization, or there's ad set-based optimization. All the difference is that you want to use CBO if you've got 5 ad sets. You can have the budget at the campaign level. We can have the budget at the ad set level. It really sort of depends. As a starting fresh pixel, you'd want to use ABO because you'll want to control the budget more, right? Long term, you'll want to use Advantage Campaign Plus, just because it just disperses the budget correctly. It's like even if you're running ABO, right, ad set budget optimization, and you have 2 ads, it'll automatically try and divvy which is the better of the 2 ads. It's the exact same thing, just at a higher level, right? So reporting, don't worry about that. I don't do split testing, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think until you spend a ridiculous amount of money that you ever need to do split testing. So I just give it a name, DPA, and we call it VC, which stands for view content, 30 days. It does have add to cart, but I just put that in it anyway. Now you can see this is the part where you choose the start date, the budget. Budget's depending on what you want, at least $10 a day, right? At least $10. Maximum number of conversions, I missed that. Straight purchase, don't put a cost per purchase goal, let Facebook do the hard work there. Make sure you have the catalog. I literally choose the entire catalog. Budget again, just to keep it. Always make sure that the time zone is midnight the next night. Okay, as you can see, it's ACDT here. That's why it looks the reporting is a little off, as opposed to it actually, the right date and time right now. Now you can use this for cold, right? That's the cool thing. You can use this for cold. Now this works really well for, especially fashion brands. This works extremely well, and because when people look at for clothes, you naturally want to look at a variety of clothes for what works, right? Different shapes, sizes, colors, variants, right? So it works really well for that. With most brands, it works extremely well with remarketing. So all you choose is retarget people who have interacted with your products. So every website you go, once Pixel tracks you, it tracks every SKU. So that's why this works so well. You can look at 20 SKUs on a store and it will remarket that dynamically, right? That's why it works so well. I just put 30 days personally. It does default to 14, but you can break it down. But I just personally just go view add to cart. I find that these don't work that well. Add to cart, not purchase. You have to have a lot of add to carts for that to be worth it. I just go this because it pretty much is the same as this, but it's just less work, truthfully. You don't want to go custom audiences. Leave all of this. Leave the placement, especially because it'll work on pretty much every placement. You go next. DPA ad, choose the page, choose your Instagram account, very straightforward. Leave it as carousel. Single image is what I generally do, and you can see how it just does it all for the different formats, right? Nothing magical here. The headline and the primary text, as I said earlier, is, did you forget something? Now, a lot of dropshippers and copywriters that will say capitalize things, but it really actually off-puts a lot of people, especially as you build a brand. Just literally just be honest, right? That's literally it. Did you forget something? Return now to complete your order, right? And if you want, you can add in before stock runs out. A bit of urgency. But that's it. I don't do anything else. Shop now, call to action. I leave the enhancements. The website URL is always just your home page. I ignore all of those website events. I don't know why at times I don't do that, but make sure you tick that on and put your pixel, launch. That's it. That's how you run it. And that's, as you can see, what generates a lot of revenue pretty much on autopilot, right? I change that campaign maybe once a month, where I might do a split test at times, but that's pretty much it, right? So I hope that explains that. Let's get on to the next step about Google Ads. You can see again, this is what date? The 7th of December to the 5th of January was when, again, I took that screenshot yesterday and just added it here. 9.4 ROAS, right? And again, very hands off. So you can see between the two of them, I think I've spent like seven and a half grand, right? Cheap as chips. And as you can see, like, you know, with the ROAS, which is the blue line, it's consistent, right? And I let the platforms do the work for me. Because when you have a good brand, the platforms do the work. Google Ads is easy, right? People think it's hard. It's not. I have videos on this. You can literally just get, especially if you're using Shopify, just use the Google Ads Shopify app, does the conversion tracking, pushes your product to the Google Merchant Center, can get Google Merchant Center approved. It usually takes 3 to 7 days, depending on various variables. Once that's approved, integrate it with the Google Ads. You have your conversion tracking, your Merchant Center then set up, and make sure you have your Google Analytics set up as well for long term. It sounds like a lot, but I have videos on my channel. There's playlists. You can go check it out. You mainly need 2 campaigns. This is literally 2 campaigns, Performance Max and Brand Search. I have videos on Brand Search. I forgot to include the link, but it's in my playlist down below. You literally just make a campaign. All that is literally a search campaign with a phrase and exact match of the keywords of your business, right? So again, if we're to talk about my business, Stay Beautify, I literally run keywords of the phrase and exact match. And so do other businesses, because they want to take your keywords. That's what sort of brand search campaigns are. It's just a search campaign with a very specific thing. And it's just an ad group, and you just set it up, right? I'm going to show you more Performance Max. I also have that in my channel, but I'm going to go into that. Performance Max, it just uses what's called asset groups, but basically it just amalgamates all the placements into one: shopping, search, display, YouTube, Gmail, discovery. I think there's some others I've forgotten, but it's mainly the search, display, YouTube, and Gmail would be the main ones, and shopping, pardon me. And the asset groups is basically just a combination where you do your headlines, your descriptions, you add your logo, some images. I'll give you a brief rundown of that. It uses AI naturally, because it integrates with Gemini, which is Google's AI product, to help you with the titles and all of that. So you're not too much on your own nowadays. It really does do 70-80% of the work for you. I also recommend to integrate Google My Business. If you have a legit business, I recommend that you should, because then you can show your address for authenticity, add your number as well. It really adds authenticity, and it does help with conversions, right? A lot of people click, especially the number, really does help. Call to action I use is automated, so you can you might choose search, shop now, but I just actually choose automated. It works really well. Give it 30 days with $20 a day. So you're talking $600. Now, a lot of people will be like, $600, it's not much, right? That's starting capital, I get, for a lot of people is hard, but it really isn't much as you're building a proper business. It's an investment. After 30 days, you duplicate the asset group and change it up, right? You'll know which products are doing well. You might turn off a number of products in the Merchant Center, for example, that might not be doing that well as well. So, because you can use the Merchant Center analytics as well to help you drive which is doing well and which isn't too. But you mainly use Performance Max and you let it do its thing, right? Google is incentivized that the more it gets your business, the more you're going to likely spend, right? So, you need to trust it and give it some time. And that's all I really do. I just go maximum conversions generally, or TROAS. And you just let it roll. Okay, I do minimal changes here aside from budget increases, decreases based on month budget that I might want to change. But other than that, I pretty much leave it at that. Now let's go into the Google Ad here. These are the 2 campaigns. It's always asking you to do these things. You can see that the performance, if I go conversions. Conversion value over cost. So you can see here, some days the ROAS is actually quite low, and you can see average target ROAS. So because mine is set at maximum conversion, TROAS, mainly I just go maximum conversions, much the same thing nowadays. You can see that it actually does very close to what you sort of aim for, okay? And you can see that, what's that? Spent 3.5 for 31,000 back, right? Google does a lot of the work. I do optimizations, I make new, especially in the search campaign, but in the Performance Max, I just make new asset groups, duplicate it, change a few things, I leave it for 30 days. And I'll return in time, right? That's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need all these fancy things. You just need to make a niche brand, right? And something you're passionate about. I'll keep saying that. All right, so let's go into, I'm going to show you how to make a Performance Max campaign. Again, Google does most of the work, so I'm just going to give you a brief. In a Google ad account here, all you do is you go under campaigns. Well, that's sort of how I do it anyway. You can see I've made a test campaign already, but just to show you how, on a general overview, I'm not going to go through absolutely everything. I have other ones on it. You want to go sales, you choose your purchase. I just have that one there. It'll show them all, but you generally would choose purchase. You want to go Performance Max. You can advertise your products from the Merchant Center, so that's really important. As you integrate the Merchant Center, you can do that under your integrations. Then that pulls in your catalog of products, right? Which is really important because it includes the shopping network. You can still run shopping ads, but I just find Performance Max works really well. I don't, if you're running a specific video campaigns, you can, but honestly, Performance Max just does well. As I said, you don't need all the bells and whistles. The final URL is always your homepage. Give it a name. Continue. I'll just go to this one, right? So I've made one in the past as a test. Next, just leave that. You lose location, obviously it depends on where you want it to be, but I've chosen America. English, naturally, leave those settings, that's all that's needed. Your website where they'll go, again, is your homepage. It'll then give you recommendations, okay? So, what you want to put in is a bit about your business, and then it will also even help you with images, right? So you can generate assets, right? So this is the part where it uses Google Gemini to help you with this, to give you inspiration and ideas if you're not sure. Personally, I still use tools like Canva and stuff. That's just my personal preference. But, if we go generate assets, right? And you can see that it's done the work for me, right? It's made some images, and you can see those are AI generated images, okay? And Google and that are really improving their AI products. So, but that's why I recommend, like still with images and stuff, I still recommend at least using another tool to get the image you're really sort of after, okay? With your descriptions, use them all, your headlines, use them all. As you can see how it has PetSmart. Having the name of your business in there helps with click-through rates, right? You can see as well with the little R, helps with conversion rates. I know a lot of dropshippers know all about that stuff. And then your headlines, right? So you have up to 30 characters. As you further head down, you got your logo. You can see that it's just made a logo for you. Again, up to you what you sort of do there, but at least one logo, because then that uses that across the platforms. Business name, again, should be PetSmart in this example. And, like a couple of videos, I've just, whatever. You can add site links. I recommend adding 4. Call to action, as I've sort of said, is automated. You can add in more asset types. I recommend adding, if you're to add any, would be call out extensions, which is business information, number, email address, benefits like 24/7 support, Australian owned, and then structured snippets as well. But call out is one of the ones I would definitely add there. And then your signals, right? So this is where you actually make what's called the asset group, right? So you can see here This is where you put in, generally, you can either put in interests and demographics. Pardon me. You've got your data, which is basically remarketing data, and on Google you have Facebook, you have lookalikes. Here you have things like custom intent and similar audiences, right? It's all the exact same, just different wording, okay? And you can add different types of things, like different industries, and it'll recommend you them as well, okay? As you sort of go down that path, that's generally what I recommend. Go save. Next, I'll give you the budget. Choose your budget. Next, give you a summary. And if all is good, then go from there. Obviously, my ad account is not optimized, so I can't obviously launch it, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell, right? Follow the prompts. It does a lot of it for you. Make sure you always double check, especially in the asset group. That's the most important part. And then launch it. At least $20 a day is what I generally recommend. And as I said, if you've got quite a number of SKUs, this will work for you very, very well, right? You don't need an agency for these things. You don't need fancy tools. You can do it all in Google Ads, right? So this is what I generally recommend. So that's pretty much it for that. All right, so now we've sort of gone through all of that. I'm trying not to make this the most longest video in the world. I don't want it to be. I like to get to the point, right? Budget management, right? So budget management is obviously different per person. Generally though, because I do mainly remarketing on Facebook and cold on Google, I will put 70 to 80% on Google, but it's all circumstantial, right? Some ad accounts do better on Facebook than Google, right? I find 9 out of 10 times Google actually does better, so that's why I do that approach. That's just personally me. And it's a lot hands-off, right? With Google, once you set it, you really don't need to do much work. That's why there's so many Google Ads and stuff agencies, because they're like, oh, Google Ads, once you have it set up, you look like once a week, you do like 20 minutes work. It does the work for you. But that's the whole point, it still requires a skill, but that's the point. This works really well, as I said, as you're building a brand, quality products and a number of SKUs, not just a one product store. It will not work that well for you, sadly, so that's why, one product stores all do Facebook and TikTok, because they do that, the store dies. But this works really well for proper brands, people that are wanting to build proper brands. This will work really well, and you can do it all yourself. As I said, I've got a playlist. There's also someone I recommend as well, Nick Menace. He's a mate up in Queensland. He runs a Google Ads agency. Hit him up. I don't run an agency. As I said earlier, Google Ads will just always outperform Facebook long term. It's just the nature of the type of platform that it is. And that's how I'm able to get the ROAS with 20 minutes work a day. Just doing checks, making sure everything's okay. And that's it, and saves me thousands. So literally, that's just pretty much it. Now, as some additional notes, don't reply on paid ads, 100% too risky. Oh, don't rely. Pardon me, I made there was a mistake. Don't rely on paid ads, too risky. Invest in referral marketing, right? I just want to be honest, paid ads is not the main thing that should drive your business. Referral marketing tools, there's plenty out there. There's like Loyalty Line, Smile for Shopify, for example, and they integrate with others. Email marketing is a big one. My email app is coming out in a few months. Really excited about that. Invest in the SEO. Plenty of SEO tools out there, and you can do SEO. Helps you a lot. Do a blog at least once a week. You can literally use AI to do the blog, and literally then the images as well, with 2 or 3 images, and then make it unique, make it stand out, make it authentic. And that's why if you do it over a niche you're interested in, you'll make much better blogs. Don't overcomplicate paid ads. Don't need to, right? You can run it yourself and save a lot of money. And you don't need to watch a million videos to learn the market. Once you've learnt the fundamentals, don't watch all the shiny objects, right? It's just shiny objects. This is no shiny object. This is no different. You just follow this and you'll learn it yourself, right? You saw in the Google Ad account, it has recommendations. It gives you recommendations. Now, look, a lot of them are crap, right? But you get my point. So anyway, that's pretty much it from this video. The slides are down below. I hope you have enjoyed this. Happy New Year's to all. Thank you for your time. Take care and goodbye.